What if I told you that an old tire or a pile of bottles could become the most magical part of your backyard? These everyday items, things most people throw away, can transform into enchanting DIY creations that will completely change how you see your garden. Stay with me, because what you'll discover here might surprise you. Welcome to Mind Over Decoration, the place where creativity meets sustainability. On this channel, we share inspiring garden makeovers and upcycling ideas that turn trash into treasure. In today's video, I'll show you 17 incredible ways to reuse bottles and tires for a beautiful backyard. We've included timestamps, so you can skip to the ideas you love most. And if you have questions or ideas of your own, drop them in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Imagine stepping into your backyard and discovering a little corner where ordinary objects are reborn into fairy tale magic. Today, we're transforming old car tires, something often left forgotten in garages, into enchanting mushroom stools that will brighten up any garden. The first step is to clean your tires thoroughly. A good scrub with soap and water will remove dust and grease, preparing them for paint. Once dry, stack 1 or 2 tires depending on the desired height of your stool. For a sturdy base, you can insert a round piece of wood inside the top tire, which will later serve as a seat. Now comes the fun part, painting. Choose bold red for the mushroom cap, then add playful white polka dots to give it that magical storybook look. For variety, paint some tires in pastel blues, yellows, or pinks, creating a whimsical rainbow family of mushrooms. Acrylic outdoor paint works best, ensuring your creation resists sunlight and rain. Place your mushroom stools beneath tall flowers like foxgloves or delphiniums, letting nature complete the scene. These tall blooms create a canopy, giving the impression that your mushrooms sprouted naturally in a woodland glade. Around the base, plant creeping thyme or violas so that color and fragrance welcome anyone who approaches. These stools aren't just decoration. They make wonderful seating for children, a playful addition to garden parties, or even a quirky photo spot for family gatherings. Imagine a child's laughter as they perch on a tire mushroom, pretending they're in a magical land of fairies and gnomes. What makes this DIY so special is its accessibility. Tires are easy to find, often free, and with just a little paint and creativity, you've transformed waste into wonder. It's proof that sustainable living doesn't have to be boring. It can be enchanting, functional, and full of joy. So next time you see an old tire, don't think of it as trash. Think of it as the start of a fairy tale waiting to come alive in your very own backyard. Sometimes the simplest materials hold the power to completely transform a garden. Plastic bottles, usually destined for recycling bins or worse, can become a vibrant feature when given a new purpose. Today, we'll turn them into a rainbow bottle fence that frames your backyard with color and charm. Begin by collecting bottles of similar size. Soda or water bottles work perfectly. Wash them thoroughly, removing labels and caps. Next, decide whether you want a straight, uniform border or a playful, wavy design. Both bring unique character to your garden. Painting is where the magic happens. Choose bold, rainbow shades: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple. Use outdoor acrylic or spray paint for durability, ensuring each bottle shines brightly under the sun. For added sparkle, you can coat them with a clear waterproof sealant. Once dry, bury the bottles halfway into the soil along your chosen edge. You can place them upright in a row or invert them for a more artistic effect. As you step back, you'll see your border come alive like a ribbon of stained glass weaving through your garden. Pairing this creation with flowers enhances the magic. Plant tall delphiniums or foxgloves behind the bottles, and fill the front with low-growing blooms like violas, dianthus, or creeping thyme. The contrasting textures, soft petals against glossy bottles, make your backyard edging feel like something from a children's storybook. This rainbow fence doesn't just define spaces, it uplifts moods. It creates playful pathways, guides little feet, and transforms simple flower beds into dazzling displays. Guests will marvel at the ingenuity, and children will adore the kaleidoscope of colors dancing in the sunlight. More than just beauty, this project carries meaning. It's about giving waste new life and showing that creativity and sustainability go hand in hand. Each time you walk by your rainbow fence, you'll be reminded that even the humblest items can bring joy when touched by imagination. With nothing more than old bottles, some paint, and your vision, your backyard can become a masterpiece of color, proof that small efforts can spark big transformations. When space is limited but creativity is abundant, vertical gardening offers a perfect solution. Today, we'll transform ordinary plastic bottles into a vertical garden tower, a striking centerpiece that brings life and beauty to your backyard while reusing what would otherwise be waste. Start by collecting sturdy plastic bottles of similar size. Cut openings along the sides of each bottle large enough to hold a small plant but not so wide that soil falls out. Next, puncture small drainage holes at the bottom to prevent waterlogging. Paint the bottles in pastel or rainbow hues, or leave them clear if you prefer a natural look. To build the tower, slide the bottles onto a central pole, such as a wooden dowel or metal rod secured in the ground or in a large pot. Stack them tightly, leaving space between openings so plants can grow outward. As you construct the tower, fill each bottle with potting soil and tuck in seedlings of herbs, strawberries, or trailing flowers. Imagine strawberries cascading from the top tiers, their red fruit shining against green leaves, while violas and petunias spill over from the lower rows. This tiered arrangement creates layers of color and texture, making your tower look like a living sculpture. Place the tower in a sunny corner of your backyard, ideally against a backdrop of tall blooms like foxgloves or delphiniums to add depth. The vertical shape naturally draws the eye upward, making even small gardens feel taller and more spacious. Caring for your tower is simple. Water from the top and let gravity carry moisture downward, nourishing each plant in turn. Over time, your tower will grow fuller and more vibrant, becoming a focal point of curiosity and admiration for guests. Beyond its beauty, this project shows the power of upcycling. It takes what once was considered trash and turns it into a flourishing garden feature. It's sustainable, practical, and endlessly customizable, whether you want a strawberry patch, a herb garden, or a rainbow of flowers. With just bottles, soil, and imagination, your backyard can rise to new heights, literally, through this enchanting vertical bottle tower garden. There's something magical about water in a garden. Even the smallest pond can bring peace, beauty, and a sense of wonder. Today, we'll take an old tire, something often discarded, and transform it into a charming pond filled with water lilies. Begin by choosing a tire that's wide and deep enough to hold water. Clean it thoroughly and paint the outer surface with weather-resistant paint. Pastel shades of blue, white, or green work beautifully, blending with garden surroundings while adding a touch of elegance. Dig a shallow hole in your chosen garden spot, large enough to sink the tire halfway into the soil. This creates stability and a natural look, as if the pond has always been part of the landscape. Line the inside with a strong waterproof liner or thick plastic sheet, ensuring no leaks. Fill the tire with clean water. Now comes the enchanting part, adding plants. Place small pots of water lilies or lotus inside, making sure they are weighted down so they don't float. Within weeks, their leaves will spread across the surface, and delicate blooms will rise above the water. For variety, consider floating plants like water hyacinths or even adding a few goldfish to bring the pond to life. Surround the pond with creeping thyme or dianthus to soften the edges and provide fragrance. Plant taller flowers, such as foxgloves or delphiniums, nearby to frame the pond with color and height. At dusk, add floating candles or solar-powered lights, turning your simple tire pond into a glowing centerpiece. This small feature changes everything. The gentle ripples of water invite birds and butterflies, while the lilies provide tranquility. Children will be fascinated, and adults will find it a soothing retreat. What makes this project special is its blend of beauty and sustainability. By repurposing a simple tire, you're reducing waste and creating a timeless feature. It's proof that elegance doesn't require expensive materials, just imagination and care. With your own hands, you've turned something ordinary into something extraordinary, a little pond of peace, blooming with life, right in your backyard. There's something deeply rewarding about picking fresh strawberries right from your own garden. But what if you don't have much space, or if you want to add a touch of creativity to your backyard? That's where hanging strawberry planters made from recycled bottles come in. They're space-saving, practical, and beautiful. Start by collecting sturdy plastic bottles, ideally 1.5 to 2 liters in size. Wash them thoroughly and remove labels. Cut small openings along the sides for the plants, leaving enough room for strawberry leaves to grow outward. Puncture drainage holes at the bottom to keep roots healthy. Next, paint the bottles in cheerful colors, perhaps a rainbow of red, yellow, and green, to brighten your garden. Attach strong twine or rope to the neck of each bottle so they can hang securely. Fill the bottles with lightweight potting mix, making sure not to pack the soil too tightly. Insert strawberry seedlings into the side openings, gently tucking roots inside the soil. As they grow, the plants will spill gracefully out of the bottles, and soon, tiny red fruits will dangle in the summer sun like jewels. Water regularly, ideally from the top, so moisture seeps through the soil to every root. Hang these planters under a pergola, along a fence, or even from sturdy tree branches. Beneath them, plant violas or dianthus to create a layered, colorful scene that feels alive with energy. The combination of hanging fruits above and blooming flowers below makes your backyard feel like a secret garden. These planters are more than practical. They're a symbol of how creativity can turn limitations into possibilities. Even with little ground space, you can still harvest fresh, sweet strawberries while adding a whimsical touch to your garden. And the best part? Every strawberry you pick carries a story, not just of summer sweetness, but of sustainability, upcycling, and the beauty of giving new life to something as ordinary as a bottle. With this project, your backyard becomes more than just a garden. It becomes a place of wonder, nourishment, and joy. Animals always bring joy to a garden, and when they're made from recycled tires, they add both charm and creativity. Tire animal planters combine art, gardening, and sustainability into one playful project that captures hearts and brightens backyards. Start by choosing your animal design. Popular favorites include cows, kangaroos, and giraffes, but you can adapt the idea to almost any creature. Begin with clean, old tires. Cut and arrange them to form the body, stacking or bending as needed. Secure pieces with bolts or strong wire to create a sturdy shape. Next comes painting, the step that truly brings your animal to life. For a cow, paint the tires white and add black spots. For a giraffe, use yellow with brown patches. Kangaroos look charming in warm orange or tan shades. Acrylic outdoor paint works best, ensuring your planter resists weather. Don't forget details like eyes, ears, and tails, which you can craft from smaller tire pieces or painted wood. Once your animal shape is ready, fill part of the structure with soil. This is where the magic blooms. Plant bright flowers such as coreopsis, petunias, or dianthus for pops of color, or choose cascading plants like ivy for a flowing effect. The contrast of lush greenery against painted tires gives the illusion that your animals are alive and brimming with energy. Placement is just as important as design. Imagine a cow planter grazing by a vegetable bed, or a giraffe peeking over tall foxgloves. A pair of kangaroo planters could even guard the entrance to your backyard. Wherever you put them, they'll become instant conversation starters. These creations aren't just whimsical, they carry a powerful message. They show that sustainability can be fun, that discarded materials can be reimagined into art, and that gardening is about joy as much as function. Children will adore them, neighbors will admire them, and you'll smile every time you pass by. With a little imagination, old tires don't just sit in landfills. They hop, graze, and stretch their necks high, bringing playful life and blooming beauty into your garden. Every healthy garden thrives on pollinators and beneficial insects. Bees, ladybugs, and lacewings not only bring life to flowers but also protect plants by controlling pests. A wonderful way to invite them into your backyard is by creating a bug hotel, and today, we'll make one from something as simple as plastic bottles. Begin by gathering medium-sized bottles. Cut off the tops and bottoms to form open cylinders. Each bottle will become a room in your hotel. Paint the outsides in cheerful colors, green, yellow, or even rainbow tones, to brighten your garden while still blending with nature. Now, fill the bottles with natural materials. Bamboo sticks cut to length provide perfect hiding places for solitary bees. Pine cones and bark create shelter for ladybugs. Rolled cardboard or dry straw gives refuge to tiny insects. Pack each bottle snugly so the contents won't fall out, but leave small spaces where insects can crawl inside. Stack the bottles horizontally in a wooden frame or tie them together with sturdy string, forming a tower or wall. Place the bug hotel near flowers like echinacea, dianthus, or violas, ensuring it stays warm and dry. Sunny spots are ideal, as many insects thrive in warmth. Over time, you'll notice movement, a bee choosing a bamboo tube, a ladybug nestled inside a pine cone. It becomes a living sculpture, buzzing and crawling with life. Not only is it fascinating to watch, but it also directly benefits your garden. Pollinators will improve your harvest of fruits and vegetables, while predators like ladybugs help reduce aphids and pests. This project is both practical and playful. Children will love discovering the guests in the hotel, and adults will appreciate its sustainable design. By reusing bottles, you reduce waste while creating a valuable habitat. More than just decoration, a bottle bug hotel tells a story of balance. It reminds us that every creature, big or small, has a role in the ecosystem. With a little creativity, you can transform trash into a sanctuary, welcoming life into your backyard in the most charming way. As the sun sets and twilight settles over your backyard, nothing creates enchantment quite like glowing lights. Instead of buying expensive lanterns, you can craft your own from something simple, recycled plastic bottles. With a splash of creativity, these glow-in-the-dark bottle lanterns transform your garden into a magical retreat. Start with clean, clear plastic bottles. Cut off the tops to make wide openings, or leave them whole if you'd like a lantern shape. Paint the bottles with glow-in-the-dark or neon acrylic paints. For best results, use multiple layers, blending colors like turquoise, pink, and lime green for a luminous rainbow effect. Once dry, add a protective clear sealant so the colors last through weather. For lighting, you have a few options. Place LED tea lights inside each bottle, or string fairy lights through several bottles to create a glowing garland. Solar-powered lights are especially practical, charging during the day and shining at night without extra effort. Arrange the lanterns along pathways, hang them from tree branches, or cluster them around a favorite seating area. Imagine walking down a garden path lined with glowing bottles, their soft light reflecting off delicate flowers like violas and dianthus. The effect is whimsical, almost as if fairies had sprinkled stardust across your backyard. These lanterns are more than decoration. They invite people to linger outdoors, to share stories under the glow, and to experience the garden in a new way after dark. Children will marvel at their colors, while adults will appreciate the cozy ambience they bring to summer evenings. Best of all, this project embodies sustainability. It takes bottles that might have ended up in landfills and gives them new life, adding beauty while reducing waste. Each lantern becomes a reminder of how creativity can illuminate both our gardens and our everyday choices. So next time night falls, let your backyard shine. With just a few bottles, some paint, and a spark of imagination, you can create a glowing wonderland where ordinary evenings turn into extraordinary memories. Every garden deserves a welcoming spot to sit, relax, and enjoy the beauty of nature. Instead of buying new furniture, you can craft a unique and sustainable garden bench from something as simple as old tires and wooden planks. The result is not only practical but also filled with character and charm. Start by choosing 2 or more sturdy tires of the same size. Clean them thoroughly and paint them in your favorite colors: pastels for a vintage look, bright tones for a playful style, or even a mix of rainbow shades. Add decorative patterns like flowers, polka dots, or stripes to make them more whimsical. Next, prepare your wooden planks. These will serve as the seating surface. Sand them smooth to avoid splinters, then coat them with outdoor varnish or paint to protect against weather. Place the planks across the painted tires, securing them with screws or strong brackets if you want a permanent fixture. For a movable bench, simply rest the planks on top and adjust when needed. Arrange your new bench in a shaded garden corner or near your favorite flower bed. Imagine sitting on your handmade bench beneath a blooming apple tree, surrounded by the fragrance of dianthus and the cheerful colors of pansies. Add a few soft cushions for comfort, and suddenly your backyard has a cozy, inviting retreat. This DIY project goes beyond function. It's about reimagining waste into something beautiful. Each time you sit down, you'll be reminded of your creativity and your commitment to sustainability. Children will love the bright colors, guests will admire the ingenuity, and you'll have a personal spot that tells a story. More than just a seat, this Tyran plank bench becomes part of the garden soul. It transforms ordinary materials into a place for conversations, laughter, and quiet moments with nature. Simple, resourceful, and deeply meaningful, it's proof that every corner of a backyard can hold both beauty and purpose. Every garden deserves a dramatic entrance, and few things spark wonder like walking through an archway. Instead of expensive iron or wood structures, you can create a stunning bottle archway using recycled plastic bottles. It's bold, colorful, and a perfect blend of sustainability and creativity. Begin by collecting bottles of uniform size. Clear bottles work best if you plan to fill them with colored water, while opaque bottles can be painted in rainbow or pastel shades. Wash them thoroughly and remove labels. For the frame, use sturdy metal rods or wooden posts shaped into an arch. Secure them firmly into the ground so they can hold weight and stand against the wind. Slide the bottles onto the rods, stacking them closely together until the arch is fully covered. The repetition of shapes creates a striking rhythm, while the colors add vibrancy. When the sunlight passes through painted or water-filled bottles, the effect is breathtaking. Your archway will glow like stained glass, shifting in tone throughout the day. At night, you can weave string lights through the bottles for a soft, glowing tunnel of light. Position your bottle arch at the entrance to a garden path, over a walkway, or even framing a bench in a cozy corner. Surround the base with flowers like dianthus, violas, or hardy geraniums to soften the structure. For added charm, let ivy or grapevines climb naturally across the arch, blending man-made creativity with living growth. This project is more than just a backdrop. It creates a sense of arrival, transforming the simplest walk into a magical experience. Guests will be delighted, children will run through it with laughter, and you'll smile every time you see sunlight dancing across its colors. The bottle archway is proof that even humble materials can be reimagined into something spectacular. With just a little effort, your backyard can gain a centerpiece that inspires joy and invites imagination, a doorway not only into your garden but into a world of creativity and wonder. There's something mesmerizing about the sound of flowing water. It soothes the soul, attracts birds, and makes a backyard feel like a sanctuary. And with just a few old tires and a simple pump, you can create a tire fountain that turns waste into wonder. Start by choosing 2 or 3 tires of different sizes. Clean them thoroughly, then paint them in colors that match your garden's mood: soft pastels for elegance, bright rainbow hues for fun, or classic black with floral accents for a rustic look. Use outdoor weather-resistant paint to ensure long-lasting charm. Stack the tires in tiers, placing the largest at the bottom and the smallest on top. Line the inside with a waterproof liner or thick plastic sheeting to hold water. In the top tire, position a small submersible pump. This pump will draw water up and let it cascade gently down the tiers, creating a soothing trickle. Decorate the fountain with plants to blend it seamlessly into the garden. Surround the base with dianthus, violas, and creeping thyme to add softness and fragrance. Place water lilies or floating candles in the basin for an enchanting evening glow. Tall flowers like foxgloves and oriental lilies provide a dramatic backdrop, making the fountain feel like a natural centerpiece. This DIY project doesn't just look beautiful, it brings life. Birds may stop by to sip from the fountain, while butterflies and bees gather at nearby blooms. The gentle sound of water invites you to sit, relax, and enjoy your backyard in a deeper way. What makes this fountain truly special is its story. From discarded tires to a flowing water feature, it embodies creativity and sustainability. It shows how even forgotten materials can be reborn into something magical. Every time you hear the gentle cascade, you'll be reminded that beauty can come from the most unexpected places. With a tire fountain, your backyard becomes not just a garden, but a retreat, alive with sound, movement, and joy. Not every backyard can grow cacti, but with creativity and upcycling, you can craft your very own bottle cactus sculptures, playful, sustainable, and forever in bloom. These DIY creations add a quirky twist to any garden, combining desert charm with colorful English vintage style. Begin with clean, sturdy plastic bottles. Choose different sizes to create variety in your cactus shapes. Cut the bottles into sections and attach them together, either vertically for tall cacti or clustered for rounder forms. For the spines, cut thin strips of plastic and glue them onto the surface. Paint the entire structure with vibrant green outdoor acrylic paint. To add character, brush on darker shades for shadows and lighter tones for highlights. For a whimsical touch, create flowers at the top by painting smaller bottle pieces in pink, red, or yellow. These blossoms will make your cactus sculptures look alive and cheerful. Anchor your bottle cacti into a pot filled with gravel or directly into a garden bed with sandy soil. Surround them with creeping thyme, violas, or dianthus for a splash of real greenery. If you place them against a backdrop of foxgloves or delphiniums, the contrast between desert and cottage garden becomes truly magical. These sculptures are not just decorations, they're conversation starters. Imagine a guest's surprise when they realize the cacti are made entirely from bottles. Children will love their playful shapes, and adults will admire the artistry and sustainable thinking behind them. Best of all, these cacti are maintenance-free. They never wilt, never need watering, and always stay vibrant. They symbolize resilience, creativity, and the joy of turning trash into treasure. Every time you glance at your bottle cactus garden, you'll see more than a quirky sculpture. You'll see imagination at work, proof that beauty can bloom from the most unexpected materials. With bottle cactus sculptures, your backyard becomes both a playful gallery and a sustainable oasis. There's something enchanting about fairy gardens. They spark imagination, delight children, and bring a touch of magic to everyday spaces. With a little creativity, you can transform old tires into fairy houses that feel like they belong in a storybook. Start with a clean, sturdy tire. Place it on its side and cut out a small section to create the front opening. Add a piece of wood or recycled material to form a tiny door, and frame it with bottle caps or painted stones. Cut smaller circular holes for windows and outline them with sticks or painted trim for charm. Next, paint the tire in soft, whimsical colors: lavender, mint green, pastel blue, or buttery yellow. Outdoor acrylic paint works best, and you can seal it with clear varnish for weather protection. To make the roof, plant creeping thyme, violas, or trailing ivy inside the top edge of the tire so they spill down like a living rooftop. Add little details that make the house come alive: a pebble pathway leading to the door, moss for texture, or even tiny bottle lanterns glowing with LED lights at dusk. Each feature creates a sense of wonder, as if fairies might appear at any moment. Place your fairy house at the base of tall flowers like foxgloves or delphiniums to give it a hidden, secretive feel. Arrange several houses together to create a miniature fairy village, each one unique in design and color. Children will love exploring the tiny world, and adults will be charmed by the creativity. These fairy houses are more than garden decor, they're a celebration of imagination and sustainability. By using old tires, you not only save them from landfills but also give them new life as magical structures. Every glance at your fairy houses will remind you that beauty and whimsy can be found in the most unexpected places. With tire fairy houses, your backyard transforms into a land of stories, laughter, and enchantment, a place where ordinary materials become extraordinary dreams. Walls don't have to be plain or dull. With imagination and upcycling, they can become dazzling works of art. A bottle mosaic wall is one of the most creative ways to recycle plastic, turning what was once waste into a glowing masterpiece for your backyard. Begin by collecting bottles in different colors: clear, green, blue, and amber work beautifully. If you only have clear bottles, you can paint them with translucent outdoor paints in bold shades. Cut the bottoms or sides of the bottles into circular or geometric shapes. These pieces will become the tiles of your mosaic. Next, prepare a sturdy wooden or metal frame to hold your mosaic. Attach the bottle pieces in patterns, flowers, geometric shapes, or even abstract designs. Glue or screw them securely, spacing them closely together to form a continuous design. The effect is like stained glass, especially when sunlight filters through. For added depth, layer different bottle sections to create shadows and highlights. Imagine the sunlight streaming across your backyard, lighting up a wall that sparkles with blues, reds, and yellows. It becomes more than just decor, it's a living artwork that changes throughout the day. Place your mosaic wall as a backdrop for a seating area, behind a flower bed, or as part of a garden entrance. Surround it with colorful flowers like violas, dianthus, or hardy geraniums to echo the mosaic's colors in nature. Tall blooms such as foxgloves or delphiniums provide dramatic framing. This project is not only beautiful but deeply meaningful. It transforms discarded plastic into art that uplifts the spirit. Guests will be amazed when they realize the wall is made from simple bottles, and children will be fascinated by its jewel-like glow. With a bottle mosaic wall, your backyard becomes both a gallery and a sanctuary, a place where sustainability and creativity meet, proving that even trash can shine like treasure when touched by imagination. Growing your own food is rewarding, but it doesn't have to be complicated. With just a few old tires, you can create raised vegetable beds that are both practical and beautiful. This DIY project combines sustainability with functionality, turning discarded tires into thriving gardens that feed both the body and the soul. Start by cleaning the tires thoroughly. Once dry, paint them in bright or pastel shades to add cheerfulness to your garden. Outdoor acrylic paints work best, and you can decorate them with patterns, stripes, polka dots, or even floral motifs. Painting not only makes them attractive but also helps protect the material from weathering. Place the tires on level ground in a sunny spot. Fill them with rich garden soil or a mix of compost and potting soil. The circular shape naturally creates a raised bed, which warms quickly in the sun and drains well, perfect conditions for vegetables. Choose your crops based on the season and climate. Tomatoes thrive in one tire bed, while lettuce, carrots, or herbs can fill others. For variety, dedicate a bed to strawberries or even climbing beans with a simple trellis in the center. Plant flowers like violas or marigolds around the edges to attract pollinators and add extra beauty. The beauty of tire beds lies in their flexibility. You can group them into colorful clusters or line them along a pathway. Their raised structure makes gardening easier on your back and keeps weeds at bay. They also make perfect starter gardens for children, teaching them about growth and sustainability in a playful way. These vegetable beds tell a story of transformation. Once forgotten tires now nurture life, producing food that's fresh, healthy, and satisfying. Every tomato harvested, every carrot pulled, carries with it the joy of knowing you created it with your own hands and imagination. With tire vegetable beds, your backyard becomes more than just a garden. It becomes a space of abundance, creativity, and renewal, proof that sustainability and beauty can grow side by side. Lighting has the power to transform any space, and in the garden, it creates magic after the sun goes down. With nothing more than recycled plastic bottles and LED lights, you can craft chandeliers that glow like jewels, turning your backyard into an enchanting evening retreat. Start by collecting bottles of similar size. Cut them into shapes, long strips, flower petals, or geometric pieces, depending on the look you want. Smooth the edges carefully. Paint each piece with pastel or rainbow colors. When light shines through, the bottles will resemble stained glass. To build the chandelier, attach the bottle pieces around a metal or wooden frame, leaving space for light to filter through. String LED fairy lights or place a solar-powered bulb inside the frame. The combination of painted plastic and soft light creates a warm, colorful glow. Hang your chandelier from a pergola, a tree branch, or even a patio beam. One chandelier makes a focal point, but several at different heights create a dreamy canopy of light. Imagine sitting beneath them as twilight falls, the glow mingling with the scent of dianthus and the gentle rustle of foxgloves in the breeze. This DIY doesn't just bring light, it brings atmosphere. Your backyard becomes a place for evening tea, late-night storytelling, or quiet reflection under the stars. Guests will marvel at the beauty, and children will feel like they've stepped into a fairy tale. What makes these chandeliers so special is their story. They're crafted from bottles once destined for the trash, now repurposed into glowing works of art. They remind us that creativity can shine brightest in the simplest materials. Each evening, as you switch on your bottle chandelier, you'll see more than just light. You'll see imagination, sustainability, and joy woven together, proof that your garden isn't just a space, but a living, glowing canvas of your creativity. And there you have it, 17 creative ways to turn old bottles and tires into magical garden features. Which idea was your favorite? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single one. If this video inspired you, please give it a like, share it with a friend, and don't forget to subscribe. Every click, every comment, every share helps keep this small family dream alive. Thank you for watching, and I can't wait to see you in the next video.